Green on. Good morning, chili dogs. What you focus on grows. Feed them horses. 3 more pots. We're gonna get into this. Today is a wild day. It's a late night, but I'm still here. You always, whenever life throws these things at you, it's trying to take you away from value, where you define value. Don't let your life have the ability to make excuses for the things that you hold valuable in your life, right? But anyway, I'm gonna get into it. I'll see you guys over there in a second. We're doing no music today. We'll see how this goes. It'll be kind of nice because this video won't be copyright. All right, green off. Green off. There we go. There we go. Camera B. Camera B. All right, guys. Just pushing this down. You can already see how much softer it already is. And watch, just with pushing my hand in, and look what's happening, right? Just with pushing that hand forward on that left side, you can already get it pretty close to center, right? I think I prefer the music. You have great playlists. Yeah, no worries. If you're not feeling the vibe today, I won't be upset if you leave. I just like to change things. Sometimes I'll play some like crazy music, sometimes I'll play some quiet music, sometimes I'll play some stuff that I don't even know what it is, right? Today, I'll do no background, just darkness, and then no music. Let's just see how it goes, right? Slowly walking back this left hand. And you can see how when you're bringing them across each other, I'll slowly bring in and get that volcano. Thanks for the volcano emojis. Going on here, open this up. Again, I was trying to teach some of my students the other day, and I was telling them, and I said, like, when you're at this bottom, don't think of your fingers squeezing at the bottom. Think of you're shifting both of them over, right? You want to push in that base, right? And you want them to both shift inwards, right? And you can see how just by shifting that inwards, how much it changes that volcano into a cylinder here, and we're slowly walking this up. There we go. Okay. A little bit of water on my elbow here. Again, I'm going to go right down to the bottom. And the clay is soft, so I got to be slow here. Again, I'm going to be slow on this bottom to find this little bump. And then now that my finger's underneath that bump on the exterior, right? Do you see how they're right underneath? And I'm just carrying this little bump up. And I want to dissipate that bump when I get to the top because I'm already thinner on that top. You can see I kind of get rid of that bump. And there we go. Sweet. And also I'm got a little bit too rambunctious with that one. You can see how it's bumped out a lot more. So that's going to be kind of a problem area. But we'll try to smooth this out a little bit with our thumbs. And then now we're going to start twisting this down. And then pull this out just a little bit. You can see that problem area, but we're not really going to worry about it too much. We just went out too much on that one side. You can kind of get a feel for it. Sometimes people ask me, do I get bored with it? And I would always say, yes, I do get bored, but I think that's part of it. Especially, I feel like today, whenever you're bored, I mean, you just like whip out your phone, right? And so there's something about being bored where I think it's kind of valuable. And these forms are difficult enough where I still fail every once in a while, and I still feel like I discover new things, right? And there's a lot of baked potential into the objects. And so even though they're boring, if you sit somewhere, like if you flip rocks every single day, every once in a while you might flip the rock and there might be a salamander under it, right? I don't know. I still feel it if I spread my hands out really wide. And then something else that happened to me is when my hair gets stuck in the clay. That's kind of a problem. Camera C. So there's number one. I'm going to kind of speed it up for number two a little bit. I think I'm taking a little bit too long. I think not having the music allows me to answer more questions though. Slowly walk this up. And slowly bring this down. Right, wherever it wobbles, lower that right hand, and then walk that back up to that left hand. What happened to all your trees? Why is your room so empty? I moved all the trees upstairs. If you guys could see what it looks like upstairs, I look like I should be on a hoarders episode. It's really bad. I think I have less living space than I do like space for trees. I'll do a video one day. I'm gonna color this in. Camera B. You'll see how much I got that in it. And then after we do a one pull there, we're gonna do one more evening pull. And we're not trying to get any more height. It's just usually after you collar something, you want to realign those clay particles because sometimes it almost like you're creating stress tension marks on the inside. They almost look like stretch marks, right? Slow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We did a 5 tangential. Walk this up just a little bit. Be gentle. Get ready. Swap this over. A little bit of water on that interior. Slowly push this out. I went a little bit fast on this rim. I shouldn't have went as fast, but just that. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is unfortunate. And so if we have 9, what should we do with 9? Maybe we just emphasize the 9. So I'll bring these in, 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 bring these in. We'll keep them kind of like this, just because when you have a 9, you can't really make the petals, but you can see if we emphasize it, it's a little bit more jagged on that bottom. So I think that would be kind of a little bit nicer. Gonna bite down on that rim and slowly walk this back. And I feel like I've been going a little bit too fast with this, and like right here, I'm starting to feel it really get some tension on this, right? There we go. And so like for me, there's nothing more that I want to do than just like become a hermit in the woods somewhere throwing pots, right? But there is something really valuable about when a student comes to you and they're curious about something, like genuinely curious, and you can, you don't get them there, right? But you can help them discover a path to get to where they want to be, right? And when they start seeing results from that, it's a really cool feeling, right? There's something with pottery is like you get the opportunity to give people things like objects, right? But when you can allow people, when you give them the mental tools or like the ideas so they can produce their own objects, there's something really powerful about that as well. Alright, so right down at the bottom, I slowly bring this up. You can see I'm just evening out those walls just a tad, nothing too crazy. Alright, I'm going to color this in just a little bit. And you can see when I collar, I'm like, I'll stop it for a second. Look how much I'm bringing that in. I'm actually going to get a lot of height when I collar. And so you can see I just kind of create this little bump, and I just take that all the way up, and you can see I get some height there. I like how you think I'm fully there with you. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of fun. What's your masterpiece? I hope I don't make my masterpiece until I'm way older. I think like a lot of people like they'll ask me to like rate my pots on a scale from 1 to 10, right? And I'll usually give them kind of like I'll give them a real number. I won't like gas it up or I won't be too difficult. And the number seems low to a lot of people. But what I think people don't understand is that, I'm like a quarter of my life is over, right? A quarter of my life is over. If I think that within, the 4.5 years I've been making, that I've been able to make a masterpiece right now, I think I'm not being truthful with myself, you know? And so, I hope I don't make a masterpiece until I'm really old. I would like, the dream would be that my final piece is the masterpiece, right? And I can't make any more after that, and then I just pass away. I'll probably make some waves here, but I just want to taper that edge. So I let go, and then I squeeze, and I let go, and then I squeeze, right? So it's kind of catching that. And then I'm going to snake that in a little bit, and then I do a little wave, and then snake that in a little bit, and a little wave, right? And so kind of trying to mimic some of the looseness of the form that you see like in the object itself, but have that kind of exaggerated um, throughout different elements of the object here, right? Hello guys, we're going to do a little pottery review here. I'm going to start off with this one. I think what I want to talk about with these two actually is the tendrils, right? And how they act differently on the vessel, right? Well, first, I think today this one's probably my favorite. I think when I look at the actual veins of the tree here, I think the twist is a little bit higher up. This one, I would say the twist is a little bit ununiform and a little bit lower, and I think it's just too busy towards the bottom. This one on the top is also a high twist, but I don't think I did petals instead of tendrils. Like these two are tendrils, this is petals. Well, these are actually almost like they're like wannabe petals. I don't know if I'd call them petals yet. Maybe closer to the tabs, but besides the point. When I do these tendrils, I think they speak very interesting to this idea of the tree and there being kind of like grass or busyness towards the bottom, right? When it's like a pattern, when I do it all the way around, it feels more like a tree. And when it gets busier there, it feels like the little foliage that are right at the base of the tree. At least when I look at that, that's what I see here, right? But then when I kind of break away from the pattern of it, right? And I take it away from pottery a little bit, and I think it gets more into the realm of sculpture when I see ones like this, right? When I have the two tendrils really kind of wandering about onto the object. And I think it's this idea of wandering, right? When these tendrils look like they're doing something that a human would do or something alive would do, like wander, grab, or hold up, right? I think they distance themselves away from this idea of pottery over here, like what we're seeing with pattern, right? And so even though there's pattern and looseness and all sorts of stuff going on, I always thought these ones really tell more of this sculptural story, or there's almost like a lore behind them, right? But anyway, I do think this one's the best one of the day. You know, I give this one kind of, this is not too great, I would say. It's more mundane. I just am not liking that there's this one twist here that's a little bit too ununiform, and I think it makes it look like the top is just losing, right? Instead of like over here on the top one, the top looks contained and it looks a little bit more purposeful. I think when it doesn't look purposeful, it needs to be like the focus of the object, where I don't think the focus is that top. I think it's more towards that bottom there. And then one on the top, I think, you know, it's just unfortunate whenever I'm doing the tabs and I get an uneven number. I think I got to start thinking about things that I can do when I get an uneven number. Maybe I go back into it and cut again, or maybe I just turn it into tabs right away. But I still think that's something I got to figure out, um, something to do. But you can't force those. You got to kind of make them manifest themselves by just doing it, right? I always think multiples is the best way to develop ideas. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. All the best, strong mentality, and that's it. I'm not gonna do the pottery edit here, so camera C. Oh, camera C's dead. Camera A. Camera A. Green off.